Welcome to Attainable Green. I'm Jess, and today I want to share with you a couple of tips for shopping for orchids online. Now, you can get the moth orchid or the Phalaenopsis almost anywhere these days. From the grocery store to the garden center, I'm pretty sure you can find this plant. But if you want to move beyond the Phalaenopsis and expand your diversity, online shopping might be a great opportunity to expand your collection. And buying orchids is probably a new experience for some of you. So I'm going to share a couple of tips to help you along. So the first tip is to know and understand your orchid seller. Now, orchid sellers come in a variety of shapes and sizes, from the small private seller selling on Instagram to huge commercial nurseries. And the more you know about who you're buying your plants from, the better you can understand and gauge your expectations. Most orchid growers are great at growing plants, but they may not be the most tech-savvy people. Some websites might be a little clunky, or the ordering experience might be more involved. You may have to call in to place your order, or you may have to email an order form to get your plant. But overall, I think you'll get great plants, even if the experience online might not be the smoothest. That's not to say that most orchid growers are not tech savvy. I've definitely seen my share of great growers who are leveraging social media to sell their plants, and they have gotten great success. You can buy plants off of Amazon, Instagram, Etsy, and eBay, aside from the Orchid Nursery's own website. So just know that there is a huge range and a variety of options out there. Personally, I like to stick with local orchid sellers, especially local nurseries. Here in California, I think we're really lucky having a great variety of orchid sellers available. So I'm able to get plants quick, and I also know that if I ever have a problem or I want to see the plant in person, I can always stop by. The second thing to keep in mind is to know and understand the plant that you want. Now, we've all been there where we're just looking for something pretty to catch our eye, and then we bring it home only to find out we have no idea how to take care of the plant. Luckily, you have several options available online to figure out how to take care of a plant before you buy it. This is key so you know if this plant will work in your environment and if it can survive the conditions or the lifestyle that you have. There are a couple of websites I use to figure out if the plant is suitable for me. And one of them is the American Orchid Society. You can look up guidelines for a specific genus. And if you want something more specific, then we can look up an orchid species website as well. I'll put links in the description of where I look to find care advice for certain plants. Now, not only knowing the plant and understanding where to find out how to take care of a plant is important, understanding the size and scale or maturity of the plant is important as well. So you may want something, but it might be too big for your space or too little for your space. So doing a quick Google image search can definitely help you figure out the scale of a plant. And if you really have questions that you can't find from search, you can always ask the seller. Another thing is the maturity of the plant. Most listings will indicate the size or maturity of the plant. It may say something like blooming size, near blooming size, seedling size, or a plug. This is a way for you to understand when a plant will be in flower. Now, this timeline is very flexible depending on what hybrid or species you have. If you're a newbie, I suggest looking for blooming size or near blooming size plants. I definitely want to set a beginner up for success, so by having a plant either in bloom, near blooming, or something similar will definitely help boost your morale. Now, the third thing is to understand shipping costs, extra fees, and customer service. These are a couple of things that we tend to neglect when going through the buying process. If we're used to free shipping, then I'm going to have to say that that is most likely not going to be the case with buying orchids online. They definitely come with a shipping fee, and they tend to be pretty high. We're buying live plants here, so it definitely takes a lot to package and make sure that the plants are protected so that when they get to you, they are in great shape. Sometimes that means adding a heat pack or a cool pack to the process if you're buying it in the fall and winter time during the cold season. And during the hot season, you may need a signature to accept your package, just so that the plant's not sitting out in the hot sun. Orchid nurseries work semi-seasonally, so when the weather is good, they can send out plants pretty quickly. But when the weather turns too cold to ship plants, they will hold and delay it until the weather improves. Additionally, if the weather is too hot, they will also hold the plants until cooler weather. They just want to make sure that they can send a healthy plant out to you in the best condition. So just know that there is some flexibility in terms of shipping with the plants and shipping dates. Now, the last tip I want to talk about is dealing with customer service. Now, I hope that everyone who orders online has great experiences and everything comes out perfect, but I'm sure that there will come a time where you need to contact customer service about something. And my main tip is just to be kind, be civil, and be objective. Now, depending on the seller that you have, the response time from their customer service department may be delayed. Some are great and they can respond in less than 24 hours, but I would say that the majority of them may take a couple of days to answer. And in some cases, some may take over a week. So if you do need to contact customer service, there are a couple of things that you can do to be proactive. And the first tip is to take a picture or a video of everything in great lighting. You want to make sure that you take a picture of the entire plant, a couple of details, and you just want to make sure that this is what it looks like when it came out of the box. Do not repot, do not lift out the media, just keep it as is. If there is an issue with the media itself, then please take a photo of that, but don't completely remove the media and do a repot, and in the middle of the repot session, take an image of the photo. So depending on the seller's policies, if you repot the plant, that may void any warranty or anything that they can do. Some of the time, these plants suffer transplant shock. These are live plants and a lot can happen during shipping, so just please be mindful and be aware that these plants aren't perfect. They don't always come out perfect. So when you're writing to customer service, make sure you include good images of your plant and state the issue or whatever is wrong with the plant. And hopefully they will give a solution to resolve it, either to send the plant back and they give you a new one, or they give you a refund. There are a couple of options that they can provide to help make your experience better. Personally, I think of buying plants online in an 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time, the plants will be fine and have no problems. And 20% of the time, I may encounter a problem like a dead plant or a missing tag or a misidentified plant or something. And in that 20%, I have to decide for myself if it's worth contacting the seller and letting them know, or I'll just keep it and accept it as a loss. Sometimes there are things out of a nursery's control. So please be patient with a lot of the sellers and be kind, because especially at this time, I know we greatly need to support each other and support local businesses. So those are my tips for shopping online for orchids. If you have any tips on how you shop for orchids online, please share them in the comments below, and then hopefully we'll build up a nice collection of either sources or tips or things to keep in mind that I haven't talked about. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, Attainable Green, to follow along on my orchid journey. I hope you all are doing well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!